Remember what
Live from Sacramento, California, where the temperature is 10 degrees below 0 Fahrenheit. And the sun hasn't shone for 3 weeks, and it's the beginning of the long night.
He's lying.
The long night.
He's lying.
When little children are born and grow old and die, all in the dark. What do you know of fear, little prince? Hello, dear. Sorry we're late. We're 35 minutes late. But we're here in the parking lot of Sprouts, and
I'm not going to say anything about you lying until later. Until it's my turn to talk. Is it going to be my turn to talk? I have things to do.
Yes, as Nancy Reagan said,
It's
my turn.
Well, I have to shop. I didn't say anything last week except, eat your veggies and,
And I hope they did.
Yes.
We had Brussels sprout burritos.
He's lying. See, he's also lying about the temperature. It has been 29 and 30 often last week, but this morning it's like 39, 40. So, oh my God, it's almost warm. Last night at 7:30, I went for my walk because I'm a night stalker.
Ninja mama.
Everything's better when you walk at night, and you don't have to dress up. Even though I do put. Anyway, I had 2 pairs of socks on. I had gloves and mittens. I had a stocking cap. I had a scarf. I had a T-shirt, a long sleeve knit thermal shirt. I had 4 sweatshirts on. And
hot mama.
And 2 coats of lipstick.
Yeah.
Because it may be dark, but if you slap a little lipstick on, you will feel better.
Yeah.
So anyway, I walk for 45 minutes. So anyway, that's not what I'm talking about. Anyway, last week I talked about
that's it for Mama today.
I talked about eat your veggies.
Yes.
Which is and it's a new year, and people all have made New Year's resolutions, and or have not. Most people don't anymore. But subconsciously, you still think about it a little bit. I mean, I bought carrots to juice today. Anyway, because we have a.
What's the name of our juicer?
It's Jack, because someone gave us a Jack LaLanne juicer decades ago, and it still works if you don't use it often enough.
And what's the name of our microwave?
Freddie, after Freddie Mercury. And what's the name of our washing machine?
What's the name of our washing machine?
Marie Louise, because she's a French laundress.
Okay.
With a computer brain. And the dryer.
What's the dryer's name?
Rob Jr., because he's named after Rob Clough, who installed it, the first one.
Rob, you've got a dryer named after you.
That.
Yeah, okay.
You want to go on? They all have names.
Golly, look at the time.
Objects, animate and inanimate. As Crowley would say. There are no inanimate objects. Anyway, I eat your veggies. So today I decided to talk about not just to do eat your veggies, and people think about doing positive things for themselves, like drinking more water and not to be said, and exercising more, but they also and being kinder to other people, maybe. But I thought maybe let's just do things that didn't hurt us. Not that we're invulnerable, of course. In the truth, in the real sense, our bodies are invulnerable, but we're kind of occupying them now, and it's nice to ride a healthy horse instead of a lame one.
Well said.
And I forgot. I amused myself so much with it's nice to ride a healthy horse, I forgot my train of thought.
Well,
I went back to my childhood.
All of Constance's demons ride a healthy horse.
Anyway, to not hurt ourselves. like, being sedentary is considered the new smoking. Sitting is the new smoking. So things like that. But and we all know, don't drink too much alcohol, or don't eat sweets, eat an apple every day. All the things. We know what to do, those kind of things. Don't take too many horrible drugs, and take your supplements and whatever. But I was thinking more about, don't hurt ourselves because I'm multidimensional, different level, and things that I really find difficult to do. Those other things, believe it or not, are kind of, at least temporarily and for swaths of time, easier to do because they're more out in the open. But harder things, like we tend to let our mind hurt our bodies. And because our bodies, it's hard, our bodies don't really hurt themselves. We think they do, but they don't. Our mind tends to hurt our bodies. And we, how we've said, oh, this person did something to me, just like awful to me, something cruel and betrayal and just plain mean, and somebody, and it
or to your parents or your grandparents or your great,
and it just, I felt a gut punch. I felt a pain in my stomach, or this person just gives me a headache, or this situation gives me a headache, or we blame, of course, or society is just, my heart is just broken when I watch. There's actual, and when maybe somebody's partner dies, their heart actually does break. There's a disease named after that. It's a syndrome about heart failure because your heart's broken. Actually, there is a broken heart. Even if you're in junior high, you find that hard to believe, and you find it kind of romantic. It's really stupid. It's really not a good thing.
Well, what about a pain in the ass?
There's that too.
Yeah.
So somehow I just don't say that.
I thought I'd throw that in.
I think more about broken hearts than I think about that other one. But anyway, you can have that one. Mine's a broken heart. So anyway, but here's the thing: is we when that happens to us, we don't even realize, even though we'll say the words or think that, we don't realize, first of all, that we are really. We live on the real us lives on another dimension and can't be hurt. But we hurt our bodies, and it can be, of course, it's temporary, because I think you can fix it as soon as you realize you're doing it, by our thoughts of thinking that something is hurting us, or we're working too hard, and maybe it's because, and then we have some passive aggressive thing about, well, if I fall apart and have a heart attack, at least this person who's not appreciating me is going to realize that I worked really hard and I'm falling apart. Well, you can give that up too, because first of all, if they don't realize it now, believe me, they're never going to understand and remember and understand it later either.
Yeah, that's right.
Even after you drop dead from whatever you did. So just stop hurting yourself with those thoughts. So
don't flatter yourself. Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
But and if you're having terrible issues in your family, like someone is sick or dying, or you're concerned, and you always say the caregiver dies first because they're stressed out and they're actually putting that pain into their bodies, which is stop. Let's all just try consciously to stop. It's not to feel the pain. I'm not talking about that, but I'm just talking about stop consciously. Try to not put it in your body, and you'll have to figure out how to do that by realizing that person probably isn't really hurting you, that situation isn't really hurting you as much as you think, and that maybe in a year you'll be over this. and I think maybe you can even erase and try to heal yourself and other people by giving up the blame of those emotional situations. That might get rid of yours to your physical pains too a little, and don't feel guilty if you do have physical pain and thinking I did this to myself. That's another thing. You can give that up too. Okay, I'm just trying to.
Well,
trying to help for the new year. This is what I'm working on this week. I work on something different every week. So.
Yes. Well, thank you, dear.
Lon's really excited about this one. Because he's getting the pain in the ass. He just thinks it's a pain
I'm
in the
still
ass.
thinking about that pain in the
That's all
ass.
he's thinking about. Okay, you can turn the camera around. I'm going to go do the first thing and buy some veggies.
Okay, thank you very
And
much,
some soy
dear.
milk and some other things.
Wise words. Now I'm going to try not to click finish. I'm going to try to click turn around here. There we go. All right.
Now someone to talk about something that you could definitely helpful for your life.
Now let's talk about demons. Okay, I'm going to just, I don't know if we're going to talk about demons. Demons are friends. There we go. Yes, I'm bundled up.
You want that puppy?
Puppy. Now we we put a bag of rice.
We make a bite. We sew up a bag of rice.
And then we put it in Freddy.
No, it has a pillowcase and an inner. Don't show it to them. This is an old one that needs actually help. And it has to all be cotton so you can put it in the microwave. And the outside cover has to be washable, otherwise you won't want to use it.
And these are my old jeans.
I don't let things go to waste.
Okay, so I'm going to put it right in here. Yes, we put it in the microwave, Freddy. Bye, dear.
Because it's microwave with
Get the restroom.
Because it's mercurial, that's why.
Get the restroom code number.
They don't give it to you, they just go do it.
Tell them your husband is a celebrity. Well, she's not going to go for that. I think I've got things all over the place here. What I announced on Facebook for the tease today about today's talk is about group Goetic workings, or group Solomonic magic. There it is. Now, I am of the opinion, and you might say after all of these years, it's at least a somewhat informed opinion, that Solomonic magic either works or it doesn't work because of a very personal one-on-one spiritual relationship between the magician and the magician's spirit. I always say, that it's all in your head. You just have no idea how big your head is, and other magicians that can't really grasp the big picture of what I'm actually saying will argue that I'm saying everything is subjective and nothing is objective, and I'm not. There's an objective reality to spirits, at least as you're doing the ceremony. That's what makes the ceremony work, because for the time being, you need to treat the spirit as an outward existing entity in and of itself, because at the moment, with your particular level of consciousness, that's exactly what it is. So don't accuse me of just saying, oh, it's all psychological. But it works. This technique of magic works because there is an inner connection. You can't control a spirit unless you own the fact that you own it. I just made that up, okay? And so the idea of group, a group of people invoking a spirit is like completely dispersed, because everybody has their own will, everybody has their own legion of spirits, even if we pretend they have the same name. And in my book, My Life with the Spirits, I've got a chapter called Never Share a Fiend with a Friend, which I attempted to very early on in my magical experimental career, tried something with kind of frightening and hilarious, I think, looking back, results. But 22 years ago, I was teaching a class down in Encinitas, California, a bi-weekly class on a Tuesday night. Wednesday night. We called it the Order of Wednesday Night. I'm always happy to make up orders to the Order of Wednesday Night, or town meetings, we call them, town. And where I was teaching a group of professional counselors, all psychologists of the Jungian ilk, that Dr. Art Rosengarten organized, and had been meeting regularly with them for years, because of his development of using the tarot cards in Jungian analysis and Jungian therapy. And so they brought me in to talk about tarot, and then after a while I came every other week to teach them magic. And it was fun, and it was wonderful. I love absolutely everybody that was part of that little couple-year moment in history. But anyway, they were very interested in the dynamics, psychological dynamics, admittedly from their point of view, of Goetic magic, Solomonic magic. And I gave them my classic spiel, and sort of gave them the history and the classic literature of the Key of Solomon, and then I gave them my basic field theory, which is very compatible with, at least on a superficial level, with their psychological model. But one of the members in particular was at sort of a crossroads in life. I believe getting ready to get another degree, or PhD, and had sort of personal issues of his own that he'd had all of his life, a very, very personal sexual nature, like all of us could if we would stop to think about it. Okay. Nothing too bizarre or anything, just pretty normal. But it was a serious issue with him as far as his self-identity and stuff. And as I was teaching about Kabbalah and the various spirits as archetypes, if you will, of powers and abilities that we currently do or do not have under our control, he wanted to do a Goetic ceremony for a specific purpose, and I encouraged him to do and gave him all the tools that I figured was necessary for him to at least embark, because this kind of magic is as instructive in its failure as it is in its success. So I'm always one not to discourage somebody unless they are obviously completely unbalanced, and it'd be an unhealthy thing. But and he attempted a couple things on his own, but he really wanted more help. And at the next meeting, at the next town meeting, he put forth the proposition that he would like the group, and there was like half a dozen, me and a half a dozen other people. He would like members of the group to do a group evocation to help him. He wanted to be the receiver. He wanted to see the vision, and it was his object of the operation. And I said, no, we can't all get on board. It's your will. This is not particularly mine. And he said, well, how would you do it if everything worked out that way? So I said, okay, next meeting in 2 weeks, I'll write something up, and where I feel comfortable with it, and you feel comfortable with this, and everyone else in the class. I think there was a total of 5 of us at the time. And this is how I would handle a group thing. Now, Carol Polk Runyon is who I consider, because I know him personally and have for decades, has mastered a technique of Goetic evocation or spirit evocation, where there's a receiver, and then there's the chief magus, who's the operator, and it's a circle, triangle thing, sort of like this. Okay. The receiver stands in a circle, and there's a triangle, and then what it says CM there in the middle, that's the chief magus. That would be the operator, and the other two assistant officers, magus 1, 2, and 3. Around there, and that there's the triangle with the black mirror in the center, and Polk Runyon is just masterful. If you've got his the Magick of Solomon books and instruction, their texts, they're wonderful. You're really missing out on a living contemporary master of the art. But this was a little different. This is a group of working psychologists, but anyway. So I wrote up a ritual based on, because we'd been studying the classic Golden Dawn temple openings, and we're studying a little bit of Crowley and things like that. So I was giving the group the best exposure to everything that I was into at the time. So I used the classic Golden Dawn formulaic temple openings and things like that, but and which I'll read to you. It's very short. The whole thing's very short. The bottom line is, it worked out very well. It really did. Unlike my never share a fiend with a friend story in my life with the spirits, this worked out pretty good. And you never know how things really work out until you see how the object of your operation manifests over the next few years, even. So, and as much as we could tell, it was a growth. A positive growth experience, not completely pleasant, but growth experiences seldom are. But I could see from a magical perspective that our particular operation worked effectively. But the magician, no matter what, the magician was the man himself. And we were just appendages to his magical operation. And as far as I'm concerned, as far as group rituals are concerned, that's how it always will have to be. So here's what I did. Okay, notes toward the opening of the temple for the purpose of a group evocation of a Goetic spirit. I don't need, it's one of the 72. Okay. January 3rd, 2001, Encinitas, California. Okay, I was the chief magus, okay, and there was magus 1, 2, and 3. That's how I identified them in the ritual. And there was R, the receiver. Special preparation of the temple, I knock. The third magus banishes with the star ruby and the hexagram ritual. I had taught them both of those earlier. Then I announced, now, brethren, since we are about to engage in a work of so great danger, it is fitting that we make unto ourselves a fortress of defense in the name of the Most High. And I took some of this from Crowley's evocation of Bartzabal, too. So don't think I'm writing all of this, okay? Sister Third Magus, you will purify the place with water. Okay, then the third magus sprinkles thrice around the circle, walking widdershins, or counterclockwise. Then I say, thus, therefore, first the priest who governeth the works of fire must sprinkle with the waters of the loud resounding sea. Brother Second Magus, you will consecrate the place with fire. And the second magus then senses the circle thrice, walking widdershins. And they really enjoyed doing this, okay? I have to admit, these class members were super good, enthusiastic sports, okay? And I think maybe they were such good sports because they were so, I'm digressing here, they were so non-superstitious about it, or at least self-identified as being non-superstitious about it. And so they were really good, dramatic. They loved it. Okay. Then I said, so when all the phantoms are vanished, and through the universe darts and flashes that holy and formless fire, hear thou the voice of fire. Okay, that was while there were senses. Then I took the sword. Unity uttermost showed, I adore the might of thy breath, supreme and terrible God, who makest the gods and death to tremble before thee. I adore thee. Appear on the throne of Ra. Open the ways of the Khu. The ways of the Cobs runs through to stir me. Aum, let it fill me. In those days, it had not been discovered yet that that was a kill and not a fill. So that thy light is in me, and its red ray is a sword in my hand to push thy order. There is a secret door that I shall make to establish thy way in all the quarters. These are the adorations, as thou hast written, as it is said. The light is mine, its rays consume me. I have made a secret door into the house of Ra and tomb of Kefra and Ahathur. I am thy Theban, O Mentu, the prophet Onkof Nakansu. By best Namat my breast I beat, by wise Tanich I weave my spell. Show thy star splendor, O Nuit. Bid me within thine house to dwell. O winged snake of light, Hadit, abide with me, Rahur Kuit. And then I circumambulated our little temple area 3 times, widdershins, with the sword. Weave the circle round him thrice, and close your eyes with holy dread, for he on honey-dew hath fed, and drunk the milk of paradise. I just love that line. And it has certain... that's Coleridge from Kubla Khan. Then here's the special preparation of the receiver. And we're all in robes. Everybody made a robe for themselves. So the third magus brings a bowl of water and a towel to the receiver. And I say, let the imbalances and impurities that have clung to your life like unclean spirits be washed away. Wash and be pure and white as snow. The second magus brings the receiver his robe. By the figurative mystery of these holy vestures, I say, of concealment, may you be clothed in the shroud of mystery in the strength of the Most High, that our desired end may be effected through the strength of your holy guardian angel, unto whom be the glory forever. And then I say, Brother Receiver, to what end have we assembled and made this circle a fortress of holy ground? And then the receiver said, we have gathered to call forth the spirit, and then he gave the name, from his infernal home and into the triangle, here to hear my commands and obey my will. And then I say, tell us then the object of this operation, that we may, for the duration of the operation, be one with you, and our will united with yours. That's the key right there. Then the receiver repeats, and he had it all written out. I call it a loophole-less charge to the Spirit, beginning with the words, in the name of the supreme intelligence of the universe, I invoke my holy guardian angel to aid and guide me in this holy work. Inspire me, protect me, indwell and work through me to evoke the Spirit, what's his name, that he may be obedient to my command to, and then he laid out exactly what he wanted the Spirit to do. Not only that, how the Spirit was not to do, and all the loopholes, and don't hurt me or my pets or the ecosystem, whatever. He had it well laid out, where he actually told the Spirit what he wanted in a way that didn't require him to presume to micromanage exactly how the Spirit would go about doing it, except it would go about doing it in a harmless way. You understand what I mean? It's like you give a charge to a spirit, but unless you're pretty specific about what you also don't want it to do as it's doing what you do want it to do, you have to give it enough elbow room to take care of things in a safe way. So in other words, if you say, I want $1 million, give you $1 million by Wednesday, and the spirit, if the spirit does it, it'll do it along the lines of least resistance. Okay, you get $1 million by having everyone you love murdered, and the insurance pays you $1 million. That'd be the fastest way. You know? No. Okay. Do it without doing something like that. Okay. Okay. And he did it. It was a very reasonable and wise command. Okay. Then after he did that loophole-less charge, he said, I swear by all I hold sacred that it is my will that this be done so that I may better live and work toward the accomplishment of my true will and knowledge and conversation of my holy guardian angel. So mote it be. And then the receiver puts the spirit's seal. Everybody had a little string with the spirit's seal with the pentagram on the back. Okay. And that's where he puts on his. Okay. Now the seal is already in the black mirror triangle. Okay, it's a black mirror triangle, and we drew the spirit's sigil in crayon. It wipes off easy. We just put it in crayon, okay? Then the receiver says, Sister Third Magus and Brothers Second and Chief Magus, it is my intention to proceed with this operation. You may assist me in this endeavor only if it be your wills. What say you? And then the Chief Magus, I said first, I attest that for the duration of this operation, I am supportive of our brother receiver in this holy endeavor. And as far as one man may champion his brother's cause, do I solemnly affirm his goals to be my goals, and his commands my commands. So mote it be. And then I put on the spirit's sigil and the pentagram on the back around my neck. And I turn and say, what say you, Sister Third Magus? And she says, I attest that for the duration of this operation, I am supportive of our brother receiver in this holy endeavor. And as far as one woman may champion her brother's cause, I do affirm his goals to be my goals, and his commands my commands. So mote it be. And then she puts on the sigil and the pentagram and turns to the Second Magus. What say you, Brother Second Magus? And he says, I attest that for the duration of this operation, I am supportive of our brother receiver in this holy endeavor. And as far as one man may champion his brother's cause, I do solemnly affirm his goals to be my goals, his commands, my commands. So mote it be. And then he puts on the sigil and the pentagram around his neck. And then the evocation began, and that evocation was more or less an abbreviated version of the straight first. It was a hybrid of the first and second conjuration of the Lesser Key of Solomon, but the bulk of it was my recitation of the first and second Enochian call, which I've used as the in place of the barbarous words of evocation, because I'd found in Crowley's own copy of the Lesser Key of Solomon that Crowley ended up using the Enochian first and second call for his conjurations of the Goetia. Anyway, that's the story. I already told you it worked out okay. What I really wanted to point out to you was the idea of each individual in the group, at least and only for the duration of the ceremony, if it truly is their will to be supportive of their brother's cause, to formally all get on board. And if you can imagine how that would feel to the receiver to have that magical support in the room, you could see how that could, under the right circumstances, be a helpful and healthy aid to the Magick. I do not, however, think that that's an easy thing to do. As a matter of fact, it has the potential of misinterpretation and misabuse or abuse that would probably far outweigh the chances of a successful thing. But if it did, I think you would have to kind of ceremonially get on board just for that limited space, and everybody sort of get into the same groove for the moment. And when it's over, of course, we banish the place big time after we did it, and it worked out okay. But maybe only because we dodged a magical bullet. But I don't know. I don't know what you might think of that. It's something, like I said, that I did like 22, 23 years ago. And to tell you the truth, I haven't tried anything in a group evocation situation since then. I don't think we ever even tried to do something like that at Monday night class. But anyway, I ran across the ritual and thought you would enjoy it if I shared. Anyway, tomorrow, hopefully, tomorrow is is Wednesday, and Constance and I are going to get have made an appointment to get our next booster shot, and we want to be well boosted up. If we're going to kind of have people over for our Enochian Monday Night Magic class that we hope to get going here within the month. So we want to make sure that we do everything we can to be in good shape for that. Anyway, so I'll probably be late tomorrow. So don't worry. Until then, continue to be good to yourself. Be good to each other. Do what thou wilt shall be the whole of the law. Love is the law. Love under will.